Okay. And we'll do some of that. Do a little volume adjusting. How's it going, Keo? Currently okay. Just doing a little God Eater 3. I intended on doing it earlier on, but stuff was happening. So had to sort some stuff out, and now we're good. And just get a little volume here. Okay, how's that game volume right there? Cool, 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 cool. Next, I go to unmute Discord because I am in Discord with friends. All right, unmuted, stream's going. So, heads up on that.
Oakley dokley.
Yep. Just messing with God Eater 3.
God Eater 3.
Yep. Still need to get an audio cable. Yeah. Yeah, because like everyone else tells me, hey, your audio's good. And then you're like literally the only one that's like, I can't hear anything. And I'm like, I don't know. I don't understand.
Who's telling you they can't hear anything?
Rob, Keo. And I'm just like, I don't understand it.
It might be a Rob-centric issue.
Could be. Via your monitor. It's low on your monitor when everything else is good. Okay. That is definitely weird in that case. Because I know I don't have my stuff like overbearingly loud as it is. Oh, I should probably tell Kazamura that stuff's going. There we go. He should know
To
now.
investigate.
Right, okay. I freaking love the Jabberwock scythe. It's so cool.
Color.
Come again?
It does look pretty baller.
Mm. It took a while to build it, though. I'll say that. Definitely had to hunt for parts for a while. Jabberwock Snicker Snack. We require more minerals. Yeah, yeah, because Jesus Christ, there's a lot. There's a lot that you have to do for certain weapons, but that's the Monster Hunter style grind, right? So it's like that's what you expect. Okay. So some things before I like jump into an actual mission, right? Um, you can get like side skills that you can equip onto your weapon for like different moves or different effects. And they can actually affect like how certain moves actually act when you're in combat. For example, I have Heaven or Hell on my scythe, and it's an aerial move. And on that, I have the Demon Wheel, and basically what that does is, you know, makes it so that my scythe attack already pretty much sold up the very idea of a scythe. Oh yeah, scythe is very fun. Yeah. You know, it's a scythe attack. Lets you come down like that, somersault style. Astro, how's it going? Jesus Christ, I haven't seen you in a while. Huh? Pretty good, pretty good. How about you? But can it turn into a sniper rifle? It actually can. It can turn into a variety of guns. So yes, it can be a gun. Your gun can also have different elemental shots. So that's cool. Um, if you notice, I have that level 3 meter down there. That's the burst meter. And you get burst by using the devour mechanic. Like that. You bite an enemy with the devour. Depending on whether you do a long devour where you have to charge it up like this, or you do a short quick devour like that, that'll dictate how much burst meter you get. Yep. And when you're in burst mode, you gain a double jump, and you get to use your special moves. So with the scythe, like you get different variants of combo strings, stuff that you can do with like proper timing, like that, dragging the scythe back for multiple hits and lots of damage, as an example. So cool stuff like that. Obviously you got quick ground chains and stuff you can do, wide swings. So it's a pretty fun weapon. You can do devours in the air, so if you're nimble and you're good with your locations and stuff, you do a pretty good bit with that. Um, you of course got dashing mechanics. Can't dash in the air, but you can do the dive, which is much better than a dash. Especially since when you do a dive, your shield is in front of you. So you actually get to move and block as you advance. Right? So that's nice. You know, got a hard lock on system, just in case there's multiple enemies and there's the one thing that you want to like focus on. So that's cool. Just like Monster Hunter, you're gonna like attack things, stuff's going to get weak, and parts are gonna break, and you can focus on those like areas to do more damage and stuff like that. But unlike Monster Hunter, you don't have to worry about like capturing things. right? Everything in this game, you are supposed to take it down. That is the goal. Um, you do have various traps and stuff that you can lay around, like stun grenades, binding grenades, like poison mines, things like that. And yeah, and each of these, if you use them properly against like various origami, you can definitely just bully an origami into submission, right? A monster might try to run away during a fight. If that happens, you can literally stop it from running by using a stun grenade in front of it. It's like if it gets hit with a stun grenade, or you just straight up use a like a stun mine, which just binds them in place for a second, it'll just override their like whole thing to make them want to run away in the first place, and they'll turn and try to fight you. So if you don't want them trying to run away to heal, you can just do that and then kind of go from there. Yeah, there's a lot. There's a lot to the game, really. Yeah. God Eater is pretty cool. Like three in particular is very nice. And I was wanting to give Kazamura like an idea of things. Um, because honestly, I'm still down to play it whenever, and I just like whenever people want to play God Eater, like I'm down, right? So it's like that's a thing. Character customization in general, it's really nice. You get a lot of stuff. Um, like a lot of stuff.
Can your scythe turn into a sword?
Can your scythe turn into a sword? No, but you can have a sword, and your sword can in turn into a gun.
So we can't Ragna the Blood Edge Fist. Got it.
Right. Can't do a Ragna. Gun, sword. Yeah. Yeah, actually, I do kind of want to go with the Royal Sentinel. Let's do that. Yeah, I'll go with that.
So I take it this gear is look specific and has no stats attached to it.
Right. You can actually have just your outfit, and it doesn't affect stats at all. It's just glamour. You can just do whatever with that. Um, all your
Thank
stats and
God.
everything else. Yeah, right. All your stats and everything else are tied to your weapons that you have equipped. Like literally, like with this game, the general tech is to get the biggest shield possible. Like, yeah, different shields have different like deployment speeds. Like you got a lighter shield, it'll come out faster. A heavy shield like the one I have, it'll come out a bit slower. And it kind of is
Mm-hmm.
what it is. But you're not really going to be using this shield a heck of a lot, right? Outside of like the dive mechanic, in which case the shield is just going to come out anyway. The heavier the shield, the higher your base defense. So it's better to just get a heavy shield anyway. So it's like your biggest thing is, you know, get the weapons you need for what you need. Put the skills on them that you need to put on them, and upgrade everything properly, and you're good. Of course, you got to do the Monster Hunter thing where you got to hunt various things and get parts so you can do insert thing here and get this weapon and yeah. But it's interesting in that respect. Oh, another thing. Avatar cards, right? Um, Avatar cards are interesting because whatever you have equipped at that point in time, all of that is attributed to your avatar card. So if you play with somebody online, they can get your avatar card. And when they get your avatar card, they can literally like summon an AI controlled version of you to be their partner on missions. They will have your gear, they will have your stats.
Nice.
What weapon types are there if you haven't gone over that already? There's the scythe. Let me just go to this screen over here. Load out. Jabberwock. We have the short blade, which is kind of like Dragon's Dogma with the pawns. Yeah, yeah, kind of like that, except it's more committed because you can just have them on whatever mission you're doing, unless there's a mission that is specifically designated to have certain characters with you. You can just take someone else's partner card along for the ride. So it's just there you go. We got the short blade, which is basically just quick sword stuff. You know, single-handed, do what you do. Long blade is more like great sword stuff, but not quite. Buster blade is exactly like great sword nonsense. Um, there's the boost hammer, gigantic freaking mallet. The charge sphere, I don't know a whole lot about, but I've seen that it could be very effective. Does have some like literal running based and like thrusting based attacks from both the ground and the air, from what I've seen. So it's pretty cool. Can be kind of mobile, kind of nice. The scythe, of course. The biting edge, dual blades, very quick, very nimble. If it weren't for the scythe, I probably would use them. But the scythe definitely is like, yeah, no, this is what I'm doing. Um, and the heavy moon, which is a crescent blade, like Terra style, basically.
Ooh.
Big, heavy, circular weapon. Do have things where you can spin, you can briefly toss it, crash down with it, all of that. So, yeah, like definitely various weapons to fit your style, like however you want to do stuff. And I just immediately like gravitated toward the scythe. Like I did try the biting edges for a while, but I was like, not the scythe. I'm feeling this. So that's where I went. um, but yeah, no. Back to the avatar card thing for just a second here. Does the crescent blade turn into a gun at all? Yes, yes. Like everything turns into a gun because the gun is literally your secondary mechanic.
All roads lead to gun.
Yeah, yeah. So more stuff with the avatar card, real quick. What your immediate equipment loadout is gonna be like your first avatar card, right? Like that's your main avatar card. Um, you can set different equipment and different outfits with those equipment sets, so that if someone wants to summon a particular version of you, you can actually, do that if they need something particular for a mission. And yeah, yeah, that's actually really nice because it gives the people who would summon you like options for what they would want to use you for based on what weapons and stuff you have. Um, and there's the card list. Anyone that you trade avatar cards with. shows up in your card list, and you can just summon them whenever. So, avatar cards, very cool system, and actually does give pretty good amount of reason to try to play with people, right? Um, let's see. Is there anything I'm missing before I like start a mission? Oh, there's loads of character story stuff, like a lot of it, and most of it's definitely gonna be like pushed out in post game. So a lot of it you don't have to worry about going in. You can definitely just Monster Hunter it, do the story, and then finish it, and then worry about everything else after the fact. But it's worth bringing up because you can't get some of the better stuff for, especially for some weapons, until you open that stuff up by beating the main story. So, like, it's worth mentioning. Mission structure is very Monster Hunter esque. You got this place that's a hub level. You choose your mission rank and choose the mission from said rank. You know, figure out what you want to fight, where you want to go from there, and then you do your thing. Pretty much. Uh, something to just mess with here. Uh, I'll definitely say some of the monsters that you could probably fight, they're a bit spotty, if only because of how fast they can be. Some of them literally have like motorcycle treads for legs, and they are all over the place. So you really have to pin down like how they move and have stun stuff on the ready. Otherwise, you'll never catch them, and good luck. When you are choosing a mission, you can actually choose any music that you have encountered while playing the main story. So, it's pretty cool in that respect. Let's go with Devil's Gaze. I like Devil's Gaze. It's a cool track. What else? Your various characters have their own stats and skills and stuff that you will need to level up as you go along. So that's a thing to keep in mind. Um, Leveling them up isn't too much of a pain, honestly. It's just time consuming. So, but it's worth it is worth because the CPU won't really do too bad a job at taking care of themselves or you. They will heal. They will definitely like give you burst meter and stuff to help keep you going. The AI is okay in this game. They do what they need to do. So, you know. Uh oh, that's it. It's been a bit since I actually did this as it is, so let me stumble my way through this fight and see how this goes.
Vitals and God arcs are green. Commence hunting gas rot.
Let's not let him swing around like that. He's gonna dive. Here we go. Got to remember how to... Alright, knock him down. Yep. We're just gonna drag this eye through him until he dies.
That looks like it hurt.
Oh yeah, that does a lot of damage. There we go.
Well, shall we head home? Baby! Don't forget to check for useful items.
Yeah.
Not gonna happen! Not gonna happen!
Yeah. Just like Monster Hunter, you can run around, pick up items after the fight's over with. You can also use Devour on an origami that you take down to get stuff from them after the fact. So that's definitely something that you have to do if you want like certain parts, because you can only get a chance to get them after like you kill some of them. Some of them are annoying because some of them you can only get if you devour after you kill. Others have a chance to show up as drops after the fact. So you really have to like look at the list to see what you need and see whether it's a drop or something that you get through a devour. So that's where the like, you know, bleeding into Monster Hunter and that style like comes from, where you're gonna have to grind to get what you need. Yeah. Yeah, exactly. It's like anytime you do that, definitely do it, because so kind of wish you actually played 2 Rageverse now. All you really know about God Eater is that Alyssa and Soma aren't the main characters of the first game, and the Over the Clouds is a copyright nightmare. Speaking of main
It's hard to do
characters,
anything in the Ashlands, but it doesn't slow you down.
one thing that I appreciate about this game is that your character in God Eater 3 is the main character, right? And like your character's legend actually gradually grows more and more the more missions and stuff that you do. Even in post game, it doesn't stop after you clear the game, like the main story. You get into post game and you're still doing missions and stuff. You can actually look into the character database, and your like character's overall legend and stuff, like it just keeps on going. And it's really interesting to see like how that actually changes over time, because your character literally like comes from nothing. They're locked up in a cell, they don't have a life of their own, etc., etc. They gain their freedom and they're fighting origami, and now they get to do what they want and need to do to help the world. And the entire time, like, they're building a reputation, and like people get to know your character by like a nickname, and your character is just like huge because everybody else is like, oh, this is insert person from this organization, and it's just crazy to see. Like, not a lot of games do that, and it's like really cool. Freedom Wars doesn't really do that, right? Like, yeah, Freedom Wars, you're stuck in a cell, and yeah, you get to change facilities and stuff, but you're still a prisoner. You're still a prisoner, and you still have loads of limitations, and that never really goes away. Like here, your character gets stuck in a cell, and they're treated as nothing more than a tool. And then, like, as you progress and as the story progresses, that changes, and they're no longer viewed as just a tool. They get to make their own decisions about what they want to do and how they want to approach things in regards to helping the world around them. They get to make that decision on their own, and it gets to the point where other organizations actually start trying to interfere with stuff that you have going on. Oh yeah. Yeah. I know. I had it on Vita actually. Freedom Wars, it was interesting. It was interesting. Freedom Wars was an interesting game. But yeah, like I said, it's just a cool thing to me that your character story continues to evolve as you continue to play, as you do missions and stuff, and it also like reflects on other characters too. Because one character, just as an example, Neil is his name. Neil is seen as pretty much like the biggest, like the most skilled adaptive god eater that they have. And literally, if your character is not around, they consider him like the ace. Like if your character didn't exist, they would call on him to do what your character can do. Like that's how good like your character becomes in Legend. That's how highly touted your character becomes in Legend. That they're the A. Neil is A1. You know. I was like, you have kids and whatnot aspiring to be like you and stuff. I'm like, yo, this is actually going a lot further for your created character in establishing a story for them than like I've seen in a lot of games, and I think that's kind of cool. Yeah, mentioned you know, needing to use various characters to level them up and get a bunch of stuff. Um, again, it's not hard. It's just time consuming. You install skills on weapons, whether it's melee stuff, guns, or swords. Um, and depending on the skills that you have equipped, that dictates like how you use everything, right? Um, as far as crafting goes, you can obviously craft like consumables and stuff like that. You can craft origami materials from other stuff that you get. So definitely comes down to a lot of trying to figure out what you need to make insert thing here, right? You can also craft equipment. You get blueprints as you do missions and stuff. And as far as your blueprints go, you get a literal list that like puts things in a diagram for you. There's different trees for different weapons. And if you don't happen to have a particular blueprint, the game does tell you the mission you can get that blueprint in. Unfortunately, it doesn't tell you, the chances of you getting that blueprint, but you know where to get it. Sounds like a pick your faves to level up first kind of deal. Yeah, it could be. Yeah, definitely pick your weapon that you want and kind of just roll with it. Go in hard on it. Jabberwock was a pain to make. I got it though. Very happy with that. And I still need to get those 3 sides because I'm curious about those. All of these blueprints are in Operation Oracle. That reminds me. Um, Outside of just doing the standard play together method, there are also assault missions. Assault missions in particular are a bit strange because you can't get someone to play with you, like party up with someone intentionally to do them, right? You enter an assault mission and then like other people will randomly join the mission, right? But because of how spread out the player base tends to be in regards to who's trying to do what ends up happening is even if there are a few people playing at any given kind of point in time, the best way to do it is to set up an assault mission if you're trying to play with like someone in particular. Set up an assault mission, set it with a password, tell the person what the password is, and have them join that way. And then after you get the people that join via password, the game will automatically start looking for actual people to fill the rest of the slots. And if they can't fill the rest of the slots after that, they're filled by bots. So you always get people that way. It's a bit weird. I feel like they could just make it so you can party up with people and then just pick a mission and do it. But yeah, I guess they kind of felt like they had to do something different since assault missions typically support up to 8 people at once. So kind of is what it is. And can't really do much about that. Uh, what else? Certification missions. Certification missions are necessary for you to open up more assault missions. And in turn, that's going to help you get like better, weapon blueprints and stuff along the way. So, you want to do certification missions as they come up so that you can just get better and better stuff sooner. Uh, is there anything else that I'm missing? I can't really think of anything that I'm missing off the top of my head. Let me look at the loadout again. Oh, wait. Yeah, I am missing something. That's why I looked at the loadout, just to make sure. These. Engage effect abilities. Engage effects are interesting. If you noticed when I was fighting the origami before, there was that whole like effect where it's like you saw two like character photos flash on the screen. The screen got all electric-y for a second. Like, that was activating the engage mechanic. The engage mechanic automatically gives you level 3 burst and shares a particular effect between you and the person that you activated engage with. Um, you can get different engage effects for different people that you play with in like assault missions and stuff. So that's one reason to do them. If somebody comes in and they have an engage effect equipped that you don't have, you automatically learn it. So that's nice. But as you can see here, you also can like learn them through spending currency, or some of them at least, through spending currency. Others you can only get through assault missions with people. Yep, you get to just straight up learn. You get to sharing on people. You get to just learn through osmosis. And I think that's pretty cool. Yep, makes it pretty worth doing assault missions, right? Um, acceleration triggers are nice. They activate when you do a certain thing when you're fighting, right? Like how that one says perform a ground combo finisher 3 times, or this one wants you to recover 100 oracle points via melee attacks, things like that. Um, acceleration triggers will do exactly what the effect says. Like that one says increases the power of ranged attacks by a certain percentage. Increases the one I have equipped increases the power of burst arts by 25%. So you pick an acceleration trigger based on what your general style is. In regards to getting acceleration triggers, a lot of them you have to learn by using certain skills enough. Um, when you do that, like certain ones open up, and then you have to learn other skills. So it's like going down a line, basically, until you get what you need. Bit oversimplified of an explanation, but that's the gist, right? Um, and then there's burst control units, which these are mostly created, right? So there's not a lot of them, but they in turn also give you various effects based on whichever one you have equipped. And just like with the acceleration triggers, you want to get the one that actually works best with your overall style, what you're trying to do. So, yeah, you get a lot. You get a lot to mess with to really make your character your own. And I think that's probably one of my favorite things about the game, to be honest. It's like no matter how much is going on, if somebody were to say want to copy your build and all that other stuff, like they would have to know your stuff to the letter. It would have to be ridiculously insane. So it's like there's a lot. There's a lot that goes into it, and it's fun. Let's see. Speaking Astro, talking about simping for the Fenrir uniform, like it's weird because I don't like. Okay, so there's other outfits in here that I actually like more than the Fenrir stuff. Um, where's it at? Uh, yeah, this like I had that equipped on another loadout set. Yeah. the chrysanthemum uniform in its various recolors. I think they're pretty dope. You can also get your fellow party members like different outfit parts as outfit parts for yourself, which is cool. Or just whole outfits, even in a couple of characters' cases. We'll go with the covert op. Go with the covert op. Hey, Nay, how's it going? Let's just doing some God Eater stuff for Q Dog up there in the chat. Yeah, thank you. Yeah, they are pretty cool. What else? You get materials here that you can just sell. They literally don't do anything for you other than exist for you to sell them. So, if you ever need currency, remember where you get this stuff and just sell everything off. Yeah. Also special materials and stuff too. Obviously. Figure out where you get stuff to just like grind. Stuff that would get you lots of money. Like, basically, by the time you get past a certain point, you should never be in a shortage for money unless you have just been really going out of your way to get the, like, best stuff possible as early as possible, and you're just blowing a lot of money everywhere. That's good to know. I'd have hoarded them like a paranoid fool. Yeah. See, that's why I brought that up. I kind of figured that might be a thing. Happy when in-game item descriptions flat out tell you when stuff is just for selling. Yeah, definitely a thing. Um, so upgrading weapons. You can get blueprints on stuff, blueprints from stuff, like as you do missions and everything. You can also manually upgrade a weapon into its next form if you have the materials. Um, Depending on the weapon, it may actually be cheaper for you to just go down the line making each weapon in succession. And it may actually be faster. Some weapons, honestly, I would just say just get the material and move on. But it's definitely on a case by case basis, and there's something to keep in mind. Uh, installing skills. Installing skills does more than just allowing you to put skills on a weapon, because in order to level a weapon up, like this sniper that I have that's plus 43 right now, in order to level a weapon up, you have to actually find a weapon, or use a weapon rather, an ability weapon, or was it God Arc, an abandoned God Arc, that's what they're called. You have to use an abandoned God Arc that has either +1 or +2. in order to level up a weapon that you have. Make sure that the Abandoned God Arc doesn't have an ability that you want to keep, and then you apply it. And if you want to keep your skills, you can make it apply only the plus bonuses. That way, your weapon still levels up without you overriding a skill. Getting +1 weapons and stuff is obviously, or +1 Abandoned God Arcs, excuse me. Obviously easier in later game and post game missions. So it's generally easier to like find a mission that you don't have a lot of trouble in, and then getting that +1 or +2 in that mission by like repeatedly running it, which in turn circles right back around into that grind I was talking about. Sort of to show all my +1s and stuff. Yeah, see, all of these are skills I don't need. So I would put all these +1s into this and just level up my gun. Yeah, and now my gun is like a good bit stronger. Yeah, you do the same for whatever scythe you use, or whatever weapon you use in general, right? You would do the same with these. Get the skills that you want on it, and then do what you need to level it up. The current cap is 60. So they'll let you know when you hit that 60 that no plus bonuses will be applied, which means you can still, go out of your way to put skills and stuff on if you feel like you want to change stuff up on one of your slots, but you're not going to make it any stronger. So, yeah, no. Um, Again, the Monster Hunter type grind it's strong. It's there. But it's very worth. Like I said, it's a fun game. It's a fun game, and like I always say, like if anybody decides it's what they feel like they want to do, and they have God Eater 3, like just let me know. Like I'm usually for it. But, you know, hopefully that gives like a better idea of some stuff. I know that I got a bit like long-winded here and there. Just trying to explain stuff, trying to make sure I was being as thorough as possible. So, apologies about that. Yeah, cool. Like, as long as it gave you a better idea of things. I'm definitely gonna get those last 7 levels on my gun so I can round that out. I got my shield at plus 60 already. I ain't gonna worry about that. Jabberwock's fine too, so that's cool. Just gonna need to get more plus ones. No, but yeah, no, other little things is that, like, there's a shopkeep in here, and every now and then, on occasion, there's another shopkeep that'll show up, and when she does show up, it'll give you a notice in the upper right corner of the screen, and she usually kills stuff that, like, you can't get from the regular shopkeep. Now, once you get, like, closer to end game, you're not really going to be all that concerned about what she has, but every now and then she can sell, like, level 5 abandoned god arcs and stuff like that. That can be really, really useful if you need very specific skills and stuff on weapons and armor and stuff like that. So it's something to keep in mind as a just in case, because you might get something that you didn't know you needed. Like, definitely, if she shows up, go take a look, right? It's one of those kinds of deals. I do think that's mostly it. So, yeah. Well, you got your little adopted daughter here, Fiend, who, of course, story important. Yeah, she'll follow you around everywhere you go on the ship, and you can do emotes. The anime MacGuffin. Yeah, pretty much. Um, Follows you around. You can do emotes. She'll copy you and do your emotes. Um, you can also order her to stay put, and she'll just stay where she's at and let you walk around wherever. Okay. But yeah, no, I hope that gave you a pretty decent idea. That's God Eater 3 in a hopefully not complicated nutshell. Yeah, there's a demo. You can check out the demo, see how you feel about it, and yeah, kind of move from there. See what's what. Yeah, I do like that you can just take various weapons into, like, a little training room and see how you feel about them. You can just mess with stuff to see if you get a feel for it, and go from there. Let's see. Thing is, I have never messed with the gigantic crescent blade before.
Heavy moon.
Yep. Yep, the heavy moon. I've never messed with it before. Yeah, it's something to tinker with here. Hmm, I like some of the attacks.
Don't chicken out
Heavy Moon turning into a buzzsaw kind of thing. Kind of cool.
Don't chicken out now. Don't chicken out now.
Yeah, you can just keep that going. That's actually kind of cool. Okay. Quick rotating slash. That's nice.
Don't chicken out now. Don't chicken out now.
Oh yeah, I can see how people like this weapon. That's nice. That's actually nice. Yeah, yeah, I can see how people like that weapon. For sure. Yeah, freaking buzzsaw. It's like actually kind of crazy. Wow, I haven't messed with that at all. I don't have anything for the boost hammer.
Bring it. Bring it. Dig in, baby. Here we go. Bring it.
Oh, right. Changing the
Here's a gift. Take this. Take this.
changing them into a polearm.
Here's a gift.
Cause that's cool.
Not gonna happen.
Of course, while it's in that polearm state, you don't recover stamina, so you have to manage that as you go along.
Here's a gift.
Yeah, no, like I said, all the weapons have their own little, like, you know, nuances and stuff to them. And literally all of them can become a gun. So, you are never without gun. As Reiko put it before, all roads lead to gun. So, pick your gun style, stick with it, and then concentrate on your weapon. And do what you need to do. Mm, yeah, we'll go with that. Oh yeah, I think that's about it. Like I said, hopefully you got a better idea of things now. Set, check it out. And whatever you decide to do, just let me know. Let me know what's up. But for now, this is about to shut down. Yeah, yeah. It is no problem at all. Everybody have a good night.